Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 71 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration. And in this episode we will be doing some more tests and launch of the Quargs Experiment bound for Minmus. And we have here Bill performing the tests of the launch using this time another type of the fuel launches, and so far everything seems to be working correctly. Pushing it in terms of the gas a little bit, but everything looks stable enough, so I think I'm gonna go with this launch configuration. I wanted to use the other fuel boosters that were, designed like with the NASA stuff, but it had some problems on decoupling because it was two parts tanks, and when I would decouple them they would just go crooked, and yeah, that's not the way I wanted to play it. So as you can see, the simulation went quite okay. I'm pretty happy with what it looks like, but the downside is that I forgot the SAS module, so yeah, I needed to basically restart, but then again I figured everything went smoothly apart from that, so I just pressed build and I'm hoping for the best. Cool, so time to roll out that experiment, and let's see, I'm just now making sure that we are aligned with the orbital station, which I think we are, and now I'm trying to find a suitable candidate to be flying the mission. And I was thinking maybe Phoenix? Yeah, so let's add Phoenix. He's an engineer, and we need engineers to be able to connect the station, perform docking, and yeah, then do some science experiments. But then again, quarks are more in terms of engineering, so not really that much scientific, I guess. So yeah, orbital lab is just passing over, which means we are go for launch. And Phoenix, since I'm showing this at I think 3 times acceleration, Phoenix is freaking out super fast. But yeah, all in all, the launch seems to be going pretty well. Delta V is decent, ascent profile looks good, apoapsis is climbing towards 100, between 100 and 110, which I always try to keep up for my launches. I'm pushing the orbit prograde, and let's see, our orbital station is passing over, but we will hopefully rendezvous with it on the next orbit or so. So we'll see. Let's just right now circularize as the first prio, and then we will be fixing the orbit as a second prio. So yeah, a little bit fixing the maneuver node and dropping the fairings. As you can see, we are once again having our science experiment together with some solar panels that we will need to be able to power this experiment, RCS for docking, and then a small return lander containing the experiment to return back. I found this to be actually a valid way how to build a station. You build a station, you put up, you dock it, you do the experiment, and then you get the hell out of Dodge. So I think that's usually the best approach when doing these kind of experiments. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to line up my station approach to see how well we will be, how close we will be coming to the station, and shifting it by an orbit front and back. And let's see if I secure a nice, okay, intersect number 2, separation 1.1 kilometer. That sounds promising. At the cost of a total 12.2 meters per second, which is basically nothing. Great. And that maneuver node is due in 3 orbits, roughly 1 hour and 32 minutes. So yeah, let's do a couple of laps, and since our Apoapsis is 108 by 80, which means that we're going a little bit faster. We're catching up with the station. So yes, that will be cool. 2 orbits to go. Kind of feels a little bit like a cartoon of the Roadrunner, with the station orbital lab being the Roadrunner and our lander with an experiment being Wile E. Coyote. Except we have a little bit better rocket than a Wile E. Coyote, I guess. Or more reliable. It doesn't say Acme on it, at least. So yeah. Coming up on our burn, and whoa, well, I don't want that close to the burn. And cool, great. That leaves our proximity alert on the next pass, and let us just make sure that we count the target, and yeah. Slowing down, and let us turn towards, well, standard rendezvous dance. You've seen me doing several times. So I'm just trying to see how close are we passing, and here we are. Pushing the retrograde markers on top of each other, reducing thrust a little bit. Perfect. Expanding the solar panels. After all, I do want these guys so that my electric charge doesn't drop, because I didn't put a lot of electric charge, it's not stellar, because we are counting on the station to provide the solar panels and also batteries. I don't want each module to carry, stuff, so then otherwise what's the point of integrating the stuff? Okay, I cannot yet select the docking port that I want because it's on the opposite side, and my motor has failed on... I have no idea what. To me everything seems to be going fine, maybe on some antenna or some communication dish or whatever. I don't see anything red, maybe it's on the return stage something. Well... I have no idea, guys, honestly. Orbital lab coming up, 100 meters out. Making sure that we line up properly. Okay, coming up. Nicely lined up, perfect. And just a matter of docking this bad boy. Seems almost too easy, doesn't it? Perfect, docked. Phoenix, say hi to Yuno and Mario, I guess. Extending the solar panel and... Perfect. For obvious reasons, I still decided to close the bottom one. Well, I mean, when we'll have SSTOs on approach, I don't want them to be bumping into the solar panel, and we are producing enough electricity as is anyway. Okay, now we have 3 Kerbals who are actually doing the stuff at Science Lab, and now all we have to do is to wait some time until our cyclotron performs the required experiment. Going back to the orbital lab after some 20 or so days. Let's see, and the situation is as follows. We can finalize the results, getting some sweet science, which means, okay, Phoenix, you're going back, buddy. And just making sure that you retrieve the experiment and activate your engine. Very small lander, but we don't need big one, we're just in the orbit anyway, so yeah. just enough to deorbit and come back to Kerbin. Looking at the moon, saying bye to the rest of the guys at the Kerbal space station, and getting ready for the return. Okay. Let's see. 60 kilometers above, and our periapsis is dropping. I'm hoping to be able to actually land somewhere at some landmass. Hopefully not the mountains. That would be really disconcerting. So yeah, so far so good. Going over highlands and slowly dipping through the grasslands, going towards desert, and I'm just burning a little bit using some of my Delta V to speed up my inevitable descent back to Kerbin. After all, I don't need that much fuel in the tank, and I do want to come down as quickly as possible with Phoenix, so yeah. 36 kilometers out, now we're descending more rapidly, which is good. Pointing orbit retrograde, and once again coming up on some hills. Beautiful. Descending through the cloud layer, and the slopes are looking 20, 20, and then 3.4, 4, 9, 2, 2, 4, and 4, 9. Perfect. So I guess of all the slopes that we could have chosen, we have landed on an ideal place. Well, kudos. Phoenix, you're a genius, man. Good job. Okay. That little stunt has netted us a total of 80 science, bringing our science to 545, and fast orbit, heavy vehicle, Phoenix has gotten some more ribbons. Great. That means, of course, guys, let's go and actually do some more research. I was thinking about doing the off-world storage and advanced adapter, so we have one 500 node to unlock. Then we have the space plane cockpits, and I decided to go with advanced cockpits. Well, I do want to upgrade my SSTOs to be crewed. I mean, the drone SSTO is good for resupply, but for more advanced mission, I do want more advanced cockpits. So, yeah. The colonization will wait just a little bit more. And plasma and fission generators. Well, yeah. Okay. Perfect. Let us exit, and okay. So that covers our orbital experiment. So now I'm just warping a little bit until our next window, which is Kerbin to Eve. And the reason being because I do want to launch some ships to Eve. And I don't find myself doing just so many Minmus missions, because I do want to do them occasionally, but not just Minmus. So, let's just say that those months were spent actually planning our future missions. So, I'm rolling out the vessel, and this vessel is once again the advanced lander, it's a recycling station, yeah. This recycling station, I thought it would be cool that we actually ship it to Eve, and also together with the advanced lander that will be coming afterwards. But for the time being, we are shipping this recycling station to the Kerbin orbit, so it can wait there until its transfer time comes. So, regular launch, nothing out of the ordinary, except for a 1 backflip. So, and 2 backflips. Beautiful. And then 3 backflips. So, well, not exactly an ordinary launch, but then I'm trying to see if I manage to get this thing under control at some point. And yes, I managed. But then again, our apoapsis is in the dark and our... Yeah, we did mess up a little bit, but let's see if we can survive, simply put. So yes, let's still get this guy into orbit. So my rocket flipped on ascent, what can you do? Okay, our apoapsis is still up, and we have still enough delta V in the ascent stage to be able to circularize, more or less. So I'm just... Oh yes, we have definitely enough to circularize. So yeah, well, overall I think it will go well altogether. Extending the communitron, and let us just make sure that we push a little bit more. And I also forgot on this guy to put reaction wheels on the rocket. Yay! Congratulations to myself. Sometimes, guys, as you can see, I don't need dang it. I have my own, in-head version of dang it. Some people might refer to it as stupidity. Yeah, so, well, never mind. We will be dumping this stage after we do the circularization burn anyway, so we don't really need to care that much. So, just now doing some final orbital tweaks, just to make sure that I'm set up correctly, and I'm thinking I'll go with 140 by 140 on this one, just for the purposes to have, because this one has abysmally low thrust to weight, which means 0.09 or 0.10 maybe, so it will need to do the periapsis pushing, and if it will do that, its periapsis will drop significantly. So yes, let's start up the reactor, deploy the panels, and point to maneuver node, and we have 25 meters per second burn. So let's do and actually test our engines while we're doing that. Our generator is warming up. It is producing 3000 electric charge per, I guess, second. So, which is more than enough to power 12 thrusters. And as you can see, it's actually fairly decent, so yeah, cool. 142 by 131, I'm pretty happy with it, and let's just leave it on SAS, and which is like minuscule but still good enough. And that means that one has been correctly launched. Perfect. One down, one more to go, I guess. That being said, I do want to make sure to find this jewel recycling station, and I do want to really not forget a few things. First one, and the foremost one, being I want to put an SAS unit in there. Great. It doesn't look the prettiest, and it's overlapping with my antenna, which makes me wanna flip. Okay, now I've put the SAS unit, and it will be there for future launches, I guess. And then I'm just thinking I do want to add a little bit of RCS in there as well, and some RCS thrusters, because we will want to be doing some RCS on it as well if we will be doing docking at some point. So yeah, I don't need it to be perfect, but it will become a part of the space station, so I need to be able to actually use it. So let's build the vessel, and I'm making another pass at the Joule, Kerbin to Joule transfer window, which I want to add another one just so that we can send more ships, I guess. And the one that I want to send is basically the advanced lander. Or, yeah, something more actually. So, yeah. Joule recycling station is nearing completion, which is good, and that also netted us some amount of science, so I'm actually thinking, apart from experimental cockpits, I do want to use spaceplane adapters so that I can actually use my sabers and all that. So rather than these, plasma, that's a little bit expensive. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the spaceplane adapters. Yeah. And something more, what can I do? Crew compartments, booster miniaturization, heavy boosters. Booster miniaturization because I'll need Separatrons at some point. Cool, let's spend some upgrades so our building research speed increases a little bit and also our building speed increases. Okay, great. That, guys, pretty much brings us to the end of this episode. In the next one we'll be launching the Advanced Lander. Like if you like the episode, and press subscribe button for more KSC content that should be coming soon. Thank you once again for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.